and I can see it's my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on. towards the sun rays, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. See the horizon, turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. Suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. But you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
a Hellcat. Coming like a Hellcat. Like a Hellcat. Like a Hellcat.
know there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I'll be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let them know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show them who's in charge. Call me a shooting star.
Didn't even get to cross.
I said I'm moving too far. Get to glass. Looking at a shooting star. Got more than a couple of people going mad. I swear they're rooting hard. Tell them I be big in the game like she went and got them breast implants. I said I'm moving too fast. Didn't even get to glance. I'm ready to eat up track like I'm seated in a restaurant. If you had swag like mine, you know it's best to flaunt. We aren't hating because you aren't. Shining like it's neon. Rock like kings of Leon. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, then I just have to leave. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, then I just have to leave. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting shots. Shooting stars.
Didn't even get to cross.
I'm moving too far. Get to glass.
And the Ireland captain Roy Best believes both they and England will be looking to impose themselves early in their Six Nations opener this afternoon.
We're going to need a lot of things to go our way to win the game. We obviously we like playing with the ball, and I think from a forwards point of view especially, you prefer to play in the opposition half.
On DAB, the TalkSport app and via talksport.com, you're listening to TalkSport 2 Today with me, Alex Biddle. Worth mentioning as well, the weather is continuing to cause problems with the football fixtures. League One, Accrington Stanley versus Blackpool is off due to a frozen pitch. Also, we have Swindon versus Forest Green Rovers in League Two suspended due to unsafe surrounding areas. Also, Cheltenham versus Cambridge United, Port Vale versus Tranmere Rovers and Oldham against Morecambe, all called off. More as we get it here on TalkSport 2 throughout the day. Well, England fast bowler Stuart Broad believes that the tourists will need one of their batsmen to they are to win the second test against the West Indies, live on TalkSport 2. The hosts reaching 272 for 6 on day 2 out in Antigua, leaving them 85 runs ahead. England bowled out on day 1 for 187. Well, following the close of play on Friday, Stuart Broad caught up with part of our commentary team for the tour. We got Darren Gough and also Mark Nicholas.
Stuart Broad's with us now. Goughy has just said how magnificently you bowled today without luck. Frustrations are pretty evident.
Yeah, frustrating day, but we couldn't have given anything more, to be honest. We hit the pitch hard. We ran in all day. We adjusted our line from yesterday slightly to be a bit more aggressive. Credit to the West Indies, the Windies. They battled really hard and got to a decent score. But I mean, one thing's very clear for us now. It means third innings we have to match whatever the Windies get and bowl them out for cheaper than we got first innings.
Just Goughy, before you come in this pitch, dare one say it, there's still plenty in it, isn't there?
There is. I think there was. It was slightly less extravagant today than day 1 potentially. It looks visibly much drier. But there's still lift certainly for the bowlers that hit the pitch slightly harder. So I don't quite know what to make of it, because you can bowl 10 balls in a row and it feels pretty true, and then one just lifts and the batsman's eyes sort of grow a little bit. So look, we're going to need a bit of luck when we bat next to get a really competitive total. But we've had 103 plays and misses today, which is a lot. It's probably the most I've seen in a Test match day.
For you personally, Stuart, to come back after getting left out in Barbados, to bowl like you have done this game, you must be pretty pleased. You've talked a lot about that shortened run-up. You had a beautiful rhythm today, bowling here in obviously Antigua.
Yeah, I feel it makes me a little bit more balanced at the crease. So almost, the email I got from the communication I got from Sir Richard Hadley was he felt that off the shorter run-up, it meant that he was just really consistent with the areas he hit. So actually, the movement you get, it might be the same as off the longer run-up, but actually your areas are going to be a lot more consistent because you have more control and balance at the crease. And that's the one thing I felt here. It's always quite nerve-wracking coming into a game when you haven't had a huge amount of match practice, and I'm not trialling a new run-up. It's something that I want in my game, but it's not something that I've had a lot of match practice with, and you're trialling out in a Test match. So I was pretty happy with the way it went.
It hasn't compromised your pace, has it?
It doesn't feel like it has. Actually, it feels like my body feels pretty good today. It feels like I'm a bit more economical. With the pressure I'm putting on my body, it feels like I can bowl longer spells, and I feel like I'm getting decent bounce. So you don't know if this is just that pitch, but it's been happening in the nets as well. So hopefully it will have the same effects it did to Sir Richard and get him a few more years.
Well, Jimmy Anderson a little frustrated today. You looked it from when you threw the overthrows.
That is the understatement of the day.
It makes me a little bit more balanced at the crease. So almost frustrated. The email I got from frustrated communication I got from Sir Richard, which is understandable. I think he's got such high expectations of himself. Like the first innings at Barbados, where he get 5 for 6 for 40 or whatever in 30 overs. He can't do that every day, but he thinks he can do that every day. So I think he gets a little bit frustrated in conditions. And look, there's no doubt that he'll still feel a slight weight in his body from the overs he bowled last week. That was a huge amount of overs to bowl in the first game of a Test match series, and there's I don't think he's fit as a fiddle, but there's no doubt that his legs would have felt that a little bit coming into this game. But he's still threatened. He just didn't have that luck that he sometimes gets.
Did he want that end? Did he want the Curtly Ambrose end, or wasn't he bothered?
No, I don't think so. I mean, the wind going across the ground certainly helped his shape from this end. I don't know. From what it felt like, it's been maybe a little bit more uneven bounce bowling from the Curtly Ambrose end. Definitely, I would have thought.
Yeah, much more, I'd say.
But that sort of roles you got to play, you know. The likes of I thought Mo bowled brilliantly from this end and controlled the game beautifully, but it was almost like you hold from this end and you attack and hit the pitch from the other.
That's the England fast bowler Stuart Broad there with our team out in Antigua, part of it at least, to Darren Gough and Mark Nicholas. England 1-0 down in the 3-match series in the third day of the second test gets underway today, right here on TalkSport 2 from 2 p.m. As always, we do have live and exclusive ball-by-ball commentary coverage from 1:30.
This is TalkSport 2 today.
Well, back to football, and Chelsea aim to get back into the top four when they take on the bottom side of the Premier League, Huddersfield at Stamford Bridge. The Blues were blown away against Bournemouth midweek, losing in the Premier League by a 4-goal margin for only the second time and the first in over 22 years. Reports yesterday suggesting the Maurizio Sarri's days were numbered at Stamford Bridge, but the Italian, who joined the club in the summer, wants to play his style of football.
I don't want to change something that at the moment doesn't work very well. First of all, I want to see my football played very well. Then we can go to change something. Everybody 10 years ago knew very well Barcelona, but Barcelona won everything because Barcelona played very well their football. And so, first of all, I want to play very well my football. Okay. Then I can change. I am a dreamer. I want to play my football. But if I arrived here starting from in a professional team, I think it's because I am a dreamer.
The uncertain times at Stamford Bridge. Also, more bad news for Blues fans. The Chelsea winger Callum Hudson-Odoi, according to reports, will not sign a new contract at Stamford Bridge after being denied that January loan move to Bayern Munich. Well, Burnley will be hoping to continue their good run of form when they face Southampton later this afternoon. They've picked up 11 points from the last 5 Premier League outings to move out of the bottom 3. Peter Crouch, familiar name for us all, could make his debut after signing on deadline day. What will he bring to the team? It's pretty obvious, but let's get the Clarets boss Sean Dyche to explain for us.
The main thing for me is having motivated people, you know, and I don't really... Age has to be factored in at some point, but I don't factor
coast and fight for his place in the team. Here are the thoughts of the Saints boss, Ralph Hasenhüttl.
It's sometimes the point that you as a club can't give any player what he expects us to give him. So in this situation, we are trying to find a win-win situation for both sides. And it can be that in Charlie's situation, I think he played 2 times from the beginning since I'm here. And he's a fantastic striker. Also, he wants to play from the beginning in the start 11. If there's not the option here in Southampton, maybe he will looking for another club where he has these options.
The Crystal Palace boss Roy Hodgson admits this afternoon's Premier League game against Fulham is a must-win. His side could move 7 points clear of the relegation zone with a victory over the division's second from bottom team. Striker Michy Batshuayi also may make his debut after signing on loan from Chelsea late on deadline day.
It was only right at the last minute that Chelsea decided that if he was going to be loaned out, we would be the prime candidate, and we jumped at it straight away. And Doug Freeman and Steve Parish did extremely well to use that limited time to get the transfer over the line, because it's a player that we've long admired and the player that we think is a bit of a missing piece in our jigsaw puzzle.
Well, Claudio Ranieri wants Alexander Mitrovic to fire Fulham to safety by scoring another 10 Premier League goals this season, even if it means big clubs come calling in the summer. Fulham hoping to record back-to-back Premier League wins. A victory would lift them above Cardiff in the table and to within 3 points of safety. Let's hear from Ranieri now. He knows how big a game this is for both sides.
All the matches are crucial. Every match are battle. Every match we have to show our best. to stay together, play with the right discipline, and try to score goals without conceding goal.
Cottagers boss Claudio Ranieri there.
This is TalkSport 2 Today.
Well, to the Six Nations, and Wales came back from 16-0 down at half-time to secure a stunning win in Rugby Union Six Nations last night. Warren Gatland's side triumphing 24-19 in the opening match of this year's championships in Paris. 2 tries from George North and 1 from Thomas Williams, helping last year's runners-up to victory. Well, after last night's superb opener, rugby fans will be hoping for more of the same as Ireland welcome England to Dublin. The Grand Slam champions head into the game today on the back of 12 successive home wins. England need to end a run of 6 defeats in 7 in Dublin. Head coach Eddie Jones says his team cannot afford to give away needless penalties.
You've got to be clinical against them because they're a high possession team. You've got to have the utmost discipline in defence, and then when you do get the ball, you've got to be clinical. You've got to score points against them.
Well, Ireland captain Rory Best says both sides will be looking to impose themselves early on.
We're going to need a lot of things to go our way to win the game. You know, we like playing with the ball, and I think from a forward's point of view especially, you prefer to play in the opposition half.
You're listening to TalkSport 2 today. Shortly more on Manchester United's plans to make Ole Gunnar Solskjaer their next permanent manager. The Norwegian also believes that one current star can follow in the footsteps of Cristiano Ronaldo.
TalkSport 2 Today.
Did you know that there are 122 languages in India? Or that in Singapore you can visit the world's first night zoo? And that you'll find more bicycles in Beijing than in Amsterdam? But here's the most amazing thing to know. With Lufthansa's attractive fares, you can fly to Asia from £399, subject to availability. Book by February 10th for travel starting from February 11th. Contact your travel agent or visit lufthansa.com. Conditions apply.
Say yes to the world. Lufthansa. When you buy the award-winning Alfa Romeo Giulia or the Stelvio Performance SUV, you can pretend it's for the 5-year warranty, the 3 years free servicing, 5 years roadside assistance, or the 5 years 0% APR. But the real reason is, you just want an Alfa Romeo. Start something beautiful. Visit alfaromeo.co.uk.
5 years or 75,000 miles warranty. Minimum 35% customer deposit. 60 months term. HB sales until 31st of March 2019. Subject to status. T's and C's apply. Alfa Romeo Financial Services.
Picture a group of teenagers on their bikes at night. Hoods up, heads down. Moving as one. What do you see? A gang to be avoided? Or do you see what we see? People working together to hone their skills. There are troops training armies around the world who need that right now. Your army needs you. Find where you belong. Sedge, army jobs.
Being a gnome isn't easy. All those knocks and scrapes. Once I was minding my own business, then wham! Football snapped me arm clean off. Alfonso's in bits. Walter disappeared. Of course, they never catch anyone. But the new high-view outdoor security camera has motion detection, two-way audio and night vision. We're saved!
Protect your gnomes and your home from your phone. Search Hive to discover more.
way, shape or form, but fit in the role that is required for this Newcastle side, and that is something that Rafa Benitez has been talking about. He's got certain areas where he feels his side is weak, both in terms of depth and in terms of quality, and I think he's got 2 of his 3 targets, which in a January window I don't think is too bad at all.
Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it? 2-time MLS All-Star as well. Ron Llanos, I think it was, in Argentina, wasn't it? Yeah, real underdog story. And it's no coincidence. If you do it once with one team in one country, it might be a lucky season. But if you do it with 2 teams in 2 countries, I think that says a lot about you. As Ritchie, who is the left wing back today,
Yeah, you do what you need to win some weeks, don't you? And that's the case against what is a decent Watford side at the moment. Let's not denigrate the fact that they came back so well. We look at Manchester United against Burnley in a similar kind of scenario as well, and how the plaudits flew for them and the way that they fought back. But maybe Tottenham a little less so. It was a bit of a kind of, it was only Watford and they should have beaten them anyway. Well, you've still got to do that. You've still got to put the effort in. And as you said, with Son coming back as well, we just talked about it off air. He comes back from the Asian Cup and bang, he's straight back into it. There's no easing him back into the side. He's so important to this Spurs side. They want him straight back in there, and he flourished again later on in the game on Wednesday night. So it's a Spurs side that plays to a system, that knows what its strengths and weaknesses are, and therefore is always a challenge for any side in the Premier League, and certainly from a Newcastle point of view. With the pace and the movement that they're going to have today, this Newcastle side has got to be very regimented defensively today.
Yes, that was an 8th goal in 9 games for Son in the Premier League, and Spurs are dominating possession as you would expect, really. Sissoko with the ball through, of course, former Newcastle man, too heavy this time. It's a bit of a thumbs up from Kieran Trippier. In the team ahead of Serge Aurier this afternoon, but not the best ball from Sissoko. He was a bit of a deadline day move, wasn't he, in the summer of 2016, and strange, he just couldn't get to grips with the way Spurs played for a while, but he seems to have found a nice little niche for himself in the side at the moment, just almost inside right but in the midfield, and he's thriving under Mauricio Pochettino. Here is Perez wants a foul, gets a foul as well from Jan Vertonghen. Newcastle in no rush to get the game back underway though. 6.5 minutes, almost into the 8th minute of the clash. We see Mike Ashley and Lee Charnley present at Wembley. Wonder what they penny for their thoughts at the moment. Obviously the fans have never been happy, I don't think, with Mike Ashley, but he's made good on his word. He splashed the cash with the signing of Alderweireld, and I was thinking that victory so close to deadline day was the worst thing that could have happened to Rafa Benitez, because I didn't think he was going to get anything after he's proven that he can beat Manchester City. But obviously the owner put his hand in his pocket as Longstaff plays it forward, easily headed down by Sanchez. There's a break on maybe for Spurs, making hard work of it. If it is, Lamella, little turn on the halfway line. He's got Winks, he's got acres of space, helps it on nicely to Vertonghen. Nice touch by him. Down the line to Son. Lascelles, though, comes across. Good challenge by the skipper.
Yeah, I love Lascelles. Again, a player who's going to give you everything he's got. He's straight across there. He times it to perfection as well. Son getting into a dangerous position again. He just pulls away, drifts into that space behind fullback and in between centre half on that side. But Lascelles quick to cover. Excellent challenge, and that's exactly what Newcastle need. We said they have to be sharp. They have to be regimented. Just lost it a little bit there. Let Son get some space, but quickly close the door on him. So important this afternoon that he isn't given room to do what he does best.
Yeah, certainly. Here is Sissoko wide to Trippier on the right hand side, back into Lamella. He's got Winks inside of him, chooses to use him as well. The England man turns, finds Vertonghen on the left hand side. Bit of space for the Belgian, thinks about the cross, but the way to set up Lucas Moura with the main striker, not really a chance to whip balls into the area, is it? Now back to Winks. another one who's really excelled this season in the middle of the park for Spurs. Lamella's come inside. Sissoko's in an inside right position and got space to turn, maybe have a shot as well. Gets out his feet, wide to Trippier. Ritchie closes him down. Back on his left foot, Trippier. Sissoko back to Trippier now at Winks. Thinks about the cross. Patient play this by Spurs, not really going anywhere. Ball comes into the box, bounces into the hands of Dubravka. It was all a bit predictable in the end.
Yeah, good communication again with the Newcastle defence, but it's interesting, Newcastle's middle three very, very narrow at the moment. If you look at it, they are within a couple of yards of each other most of the time when Spurs have got the ball 30 yards away, and they're allowing Spurs space out wide because they know they've only got Moura to deal with. So Ritchie is sitting inside, he's not pushing out too wide, he's keeping it nice and narrow, and then when he comes across the cover, Ritchie pulls out, the other centre-half comes across behind him straight away. Lejeune's coming over there to cover because he's got nobody else to pick up. So, there's something there for Spurs to work on, but as it's set up at the moment, Newcastle tactically are spot on.
Yeah, here is Son though, gets it onto his left foot, goes for a goal, it bounces off Yedlin, back towards Vertonghen. Perez is back there, but it's Son with the ball. We've seen plenty of action so far. Little dance into the box, skills as well, but Schar, who's been ever so impressive in recent weeks and months, took a time to settle, I think, into English football, but has really played well, the Swiss, since November or so. Here is Winks, carries the ball, he's got Son to his left-hand side. I think my tactic, if I was Mauricio Pochettino, would be to tell Son to hug the touchline, because I don't think Yedlin quite fancies trying to pick him up. And like you say, they've obviously been drilled to go in and tuck in and make themselves a really solid unit, and it will allow him space on the left.
Yeah, you saw it again there. Yedlin pulled across. Who makes the challenge? Well, it's Fabian Schär coming in behind him, isn't it, to make the tackle, because there are two players. Because Schär knows he can pull away. He's still got two defenders behind him. There's not too many players pushing forward from a Spurs point of view. So yes, Son is having to go wide. You look at it now, Son's right on the side, Trippier's right on the other side, trying to push out as far as possible. They're trying to spread this Newcastle team, as Lejeune makes a bit of a mistake, but actually misses it completely, so he gets away with it. But again, it's having to find a ball threaded through, isn't it, to find a runner. That there's no obvious routes for Tottenham to be able to play the ball in at the moment, and the wider that Son gets, the less he is in that penalty area, therefore the less dangerous he is to some extent, because he's only got Moura to aim at in the centre. So we saw it then again. You mentioned Vertonghen finding space, he looks up, nobody to play it into, he's got to recycle, come back out again. So I just feel that at the moment Spurs are just a little bit offset to be able to attack this Newcastle side effectively.
Yeah, still goalless in the early game. We had 2 goals by this stage when the pair met back in August. Vertonghen, then Joselu, and then Dele Alli grabbing what would be the winner after just 18 minutes as Longstaff punts it long, looking for Rondon. Rondon will give chase and keep it in on the far side just about. Sanchez. He gets it to Atsu. Atsu into Hayden, back to Atsu on the left-hand side. Ball across is awkwardly defended by Sanchez. Cool play, though, by Harry Winks. He'll knock it back to Sanchez. Long ball towards Lucas Moura. Now, Perez finds Hayden. This is better from Newcastle. They've got Ritchie and Atsu on the left-hand side. Those two link up. Atsu, though, just loses out to Sissoko. Good strong play by him. Back to Sanchez, who's got to be careful under pressure from Rondon. Back to Lloris. And the goalkeeper can pass to a teammate. Spurs will play out from the back. Busy start to the game at Wembley, but no real chances